Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat Cape Town, graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. To spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you about today?
Spoon.
Beseku.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba.
Spoon.
Skibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment.
Kuwa. Beseku kudileo. Kuwa kudileo.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in
but they're not listening to Speaker Kofa. the stones are still being thrown. Even the speaker is retreating. Even the speaker is retreating. Even the speaker now is retreating. Stones being thrown in the direction of the speaker. They're running with the speaker. They're running with the speaker. Removed from this scene. A protective helmet placed on his head. The speaker is not even being listened to by his own people. His security details telling him to see how fast that pickup is reversing. The speaker is being removed. The speaker is being removed. He's been bundled. Monati Kofa has now used.
All right. So officers are now trying to move in, releasing tear gas again.
What has been taken? Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's see who is this fellow they have. This is the fellow who just came out of the headquarters of the city. There you have it. We have to flee away again. We have to flee away again. So sorry for these old folks who have here, who have come to preach peace. They too have to flee away. As you can see them, they have to flee away, try to catch all their movement here. So, try to have the folks, old folks who have come to preach peace. How are you, man? How you doing? Okay, so they couldn't just stand with this, Mama, why are you crying? Why are you crying, Mama? Okay, so there you have it. All folks who have come with placards, they have been dispersed. Mama, why are you crying? Why are you crying here? So you have the officers of Liberia National Police protecting these old folks from the tear gas and also the protest.
The live arrival of Senator McGill. This is Senator McGill arriving wearing a red shirt and a coat, making his way to the building of the LACC. He's not responding to any journalists at this moment. There is the former Solicitor General Sema Serena Cephas, one of his legal counselors, making his way as well. And he's entering. So there he is. There he is.
Kua,
How was the process?
This one goes on where you win the case.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEOs, Dan coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
Sorry. So we'd like to say welcome to the show again tonight. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. This is where we talk Liberia. We bring you the updates. We bring you objective analysis here on the issues every single day. And I'd like to say welcome. Thanks to our folks across Radio Land for always making up time to be here with us on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric 101.1, Super 95.5, and other frequencies across the country. And many thanks to all of you across the internet that are here with us as well on Spoon TV, on Facebook, Fabric TV, and Super TV. We want to appreciate everyone. Thanks for joining us here tonight. My name is Nelson Colette. This is the late night show. Kindly share the program as you come on. Let me go across the table and bring on the rest of the team. I see Josh is already here. Josh Widow, thanks for joining us. The Batala boy, the boy from Batala, Ture has joined us. Interestingly, Ture came on at the 11th hour last evening on the last edition of the show, and he didn't get to make his point. And I think
I'll make all of it today.
He purposefully came on tonight intentionally to address the issues that he didn't have the opportunity to address last evening. I want to say thanks for being here tonight. Let me bring on Mr. Konowa, the man who wants to contest in what's the name of the county? Grand Cape Mount County. The man who wants to contest against is it Senator Simeon Taylor? The man says he will contest. He and George contesting. George says he's contesting in Montserrat County against his own senator, Senator Sir Joseph. Why our brother
DeLong, I said DeLong.
How can you contest against Senator DeLong? No, Josh, if you are contesting the next election time, it's gonna be Senator Sir Joseph. Remember, Senator DeLong just got elected. The next election, 2029. No, let me get my calculation.
No, you're getting it wrong. You're getting it wrong.
Okay, no. Senator Sir Joseph was elected before Senator DeLong.
Yeah.
So right now,
you want time to go to the knife. Yeah.
No, the next election. Oh yeah, you're right.
I always right. I always try. I do my homework, man. Come on.
But it's good to be here tonight, and let's hope we can have a great show. Thanks to all of our folks who have joined us across the world tonight. I see Golden Trust Group, our own brother Nat BK Sasai is here tonight. Thanks for joining us. Gabriel Boyman has joined us. He says, we are Akaris Gray and Jefferson Koji. Oh, yeah. Thanks for your input in the comment section. Moses Colley has joined us tonight. Emmanuel Sumo says he's joining from Sincor, 12th Street. That's where Vasco and Raymond had a very good time. You know, the two men know each other very well. So when they're ready to attack, we just sit by and look at them, do their thing. Alice Band is here tonight. Thanks for joining us. Hashim Fambule, as always, joining us tonight. Thomas Johnson has joined us. Hassan uh, Awazan, Azizi. You know, I'm hoping someone can help him get the name in order. But thanks, Hassan, for joining us tonight. William B. Morris has joined us. Jerry Gitawa is here tonight as well. Thanks for joining us. Flea is nothing about flea. You know, who is saying this? Gavri.
Yeah, you can't flee away. That your janitor that I was talking about are fleeing away. You can't flee away. When you flee, you flee.
Thanks a lot. You're welcome. English class.
It's too sad, man.
English teacher again.
But you know what? I know where George Angle is coming from.
What went to school for, man?
I know where George Angle is coming from against my media colleague. But we'll handle that issue. We'll handle it. Eric McGill is here tonight. Thanks for joining us, Mr. McGill. We appreciate you. Madam Mariah Sando Yinantu has joined us tonight. Ernest Kamara is here from Jupiter. Where is Jupiter?
I hope that Natana McGill causing you.
Hannah Kolako is here. Thanks for joining us. Ben T.C. Brooks has joined us tonight from River G Fishtown. And of course, Anthony Gay, our own dear brother, is here tonight in the comment section, making his contribution. Nathaniel K. Hill is here. And everyone, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. Let's hope we can have a great show, great conversation. It's the start of the weekend, Friday in Monroeville, and I guess other parts of the world. But it's great to be here. I want to welcome everyone. And Francis, it's good to see you. It's been a while since we last saw you. And your fans have been asking for you a whole lot. So don't concern.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. You know, I miss being here, but you know.
And I told them, all the people who asked me, I told them that Francis was babysitting. You know, Francis had to do his daddy duty, and so you know,
over 2 weeks.
You know, and all of that. But it's a good thing we're here, man.
How many baby I'm sitting?
No, you were working for 8 hours. Now you have to increase it to 24 hours. You know, you have to do full time, full 24 hours. You know, so that's like,
if you say so.
Look, Nelson, thank you for putting me in a seat of the co-host. I mean, that tells that this platform is growing. We have to be very impartial on this platform, so I'm really thankful.
How long you gonna be there?
Yeah, this platform is growing. You know, it's becoming more impartial. You know,
then my sister Amy can then you going for you come in.
Anyway, keep me from there. Wait,
you know, Joy, you got love. You got love for the co-host position, but you're not.
But what if George co-hosts the show tonight? Just what if?
It'll be fantastic. It will
what
be
if? You want us to carry on a vote? Because I remember the last time.
Deal with Francis tonight.
Last time Francis co-hosted. Look.
Does it stop this on your windows, man?
It was interesting. Look, Francis is that guy who wants it to be strict, like the word strict.
No nonsense, my man. No nonsense.
You know, it was a no nonsense. Some people said it was a tyrannical regime, dictatorial leadership, while other people say it was good, a very disciplinary style of leadership. But whichever way you put it, maybe the people in the comment section will do their vote with the consent of Mobile and Emmy. Let's see how it goes tonight. But Vasco said he's bringing one of his guys on the show.
Every day he bringing somebody.
And I don't know how many people taking notice of this, but
I see who vote for me today. We've
passed. Yeah. So y'all vote in the comment section. Who are those wanting for George to co-host the show tonight? We've passed this the 22nd. Today is the 24th in Liberia. I know it's the 23rd in some areas, but it's been exact 7 months, some days or some hours since the government was inducted. since the Unity Party administration took office. 7 solid months. It's been more than 6 months, more than half a year, moving into the second half of the year for the Unity Party administration. And again, maybe you want to ask the question. Maybe you want to sit back, evaluate everything that's happened over the past 7 months. 7 months of what? Anthony Gay is saying in the comment section, 7 months of uncertainties. While others are saying that it's a 7 months of hope, 7 months of realizing a whole new side of what leadership is. Others are saying 7 months of experiencing a new southeastern road corridor, while others are saying that 7 months of experiencing the same thing from the previous administration, find ourselves in the same place with no improvement. Others are saying that yes, everything is not rosy, but 7 months of hope that it's going to get better for our country. We're going to have a great discussion tonight. And I want everyone to share the show. Let's share the show in our different group chats and everything. Let's have a conversation. Let's do our opening. And we're going to start with Josh. Let's go in the order. Josh, Ture, Konawa, and then Francis. Josh,
look,
your opening. Anything on your mind?
Nelson, look, I am not disappointed. And I wish I would have been disappointed in this government, but I'm not, because everything I've said, from the onset has come to pass. President Bouaka does not know what he's doing. He's trying everything, from the wish book. So much uncertain. He's guessing every time, second guessing himself. People are still suffering, and even suffering more than they used to suffer. I see people in my DM, people fighting karate in my DM, all sort of things happening. It's crazy, where people would just, go around.
When you say people fighting karate in your DM, what do you mean?
Hey, hi, ho, he, yeah. That a DM there, because they want to get your attention. They want, they want to get a conversation out of you, So they will come, hey, hi, he, ho, they will do all the work. That's what we call fighting karate in the DM. So you see, Nelson, we are. And I wish I would have been disappointed by this president, because I knew that he wouldn't do anything. President Bouaka had done nothing to elevate he himself. Let's look at it. You know what? Your definition of what you can do for people is what you can do for yourself. If you cannot improve your own life, your own status, your own situation, how will you? I saw people talking, the man been living in the same house for all his life, and they think that was a good thing. That was an election thing, because this man is not progressive. This man, even though he has the money, he was making $2 million in his office for vice presidency, but still did not build any house anywhere. He lived in the same house, and he thought it was a good thing. Now you see the country is stagnant. The only boot he built at 72nd and SKD Boulevard Junction is gone. That's the only thing he's done for 7 good months.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Josh. We're gonna go into the 7 months conversation, but let's do our opening. Let's start the show. Let's start the show light. We can.
Okay, then that was our first start. Let me start.
No. You've already done your opening. Ture, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening to my fellow panelists, our viewers here in the United States and around the world. It is great to be back here, Nelson. Thank you. So look, at the end of the day, I'm very, very I am pleased, but not entirely pleased. Because I look, I understood from the get-go that this government are going to struggle. A struggle that obviously is not, through some of the applications, is actually based on the fact that the way the country, what kind of made available to them, they are going to struggle in implementing and putting stuff together. But that's not yet nor there, because obviously you can actually look at it too, that this government has been absolutely lackadaisical in some of their approaches. Slow, total walking, other approaches and stuff like that, which of course they need to really, really speed up, because they have no time to self-correct when they're trying to do these kind of things. I want to see the government, I want to see the president come with the decision as to what is happening at the LDEA. I feel like that process has been prolonged for such a very long time. I mean, if you have the facts, the evidence are there, make a decision. What are those guys are going to come back or they're not coming back? You keep that kind of thing there on hold. People start to speculate. The DA in caution right now with that whole situation that happened at the CDC, you know, stuff like that have some link to do with the fact that you don't have, you know, you don't have anybody in leadership right now. You have obviously you have somebody that in acting role, but you don't have a leader that everybody know that person own that. You know what I mean? So these are stuff that we're talking about. And look, you know, CDC will come in and say, oh, you know, the president is not innovative. Innovation to seditions is job we are bidding 36 or 32 or 42, whatever condominium the president can buy. Or job we are sort of like, you know, or renovating all of his properties. He was senator, he couldn't do this, he couldn't do none of those things. But sedition will tell us that the president is not innovative because he did not take from the Liberian people to do for himself. I don't know how do you reconcile that, Josh. By the end of the day, we know the president needs to do better. We're not going to sit there and say everything is going on well. There's room for improvement. There's room for speedy approaches to issues. So I think if the president do that, we'll be really on a right trajectory to rescuing this country. But if the president continue to total walk some of these processes, I'm telling you, man, that will give the opposition more room to even a stage more outrageous disturbance, if you will. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ture. Mr. Konowa, you want to do your opening? What's on your mind?
Yeah, thank you so much, Nelson. And I want to say thank to all the guys for holding the ground while we're away. I'm seriously concerned about what happened yesterday at the CDC headquarters. And up to now, today is Friday. I am not hearing anything from the chairman on security and intelligence at the National Legislature. I am not hearing from both houses. I am not hearing anything. Even in fact, from the speaker himself, I am not hearing anything. You know, it just tells me how traumatized this country is, and it will take serious leadership to be able to put things in order in this country. And I want to encourage Greg Cuomo that he should not be afraid. He was appointed by the president to do the Liberian people's job. An unsophisticated individual like Moses Akaros Gray cannot disturb our peace. I want to be on record by saying that. Akara Moses Gray cannot disturb our peace. We struggled for this peace for over 20 years. And people like him, who's supposed to be prosecuted for taking hooligans and bandits at the University of Liberia, and he passing around, he thinks he's free. I am encouraging the joint security to have a serious conversation or meeting to analyze this incident that took place at the CDC headquarters and ensure that those who are culpable should be brought to justice. Because these guys will not continue to disturb, and we just say that politics.
Thank you, Mr.
Nelson, let me end on this. Let me end on this, Nelson.
This is just your opening. We're gonna have the whole show. But just end up on that quickly.
President Buhari, we elected you to take decisive actions. We want to see a more progressive justice ministry. We don't want to see a justice ministry that is like a dassical, that is stagnant. We don't want to see that. We want a justice ministry to be very proactive in adjudicating justice for our people. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Konowa. Let's take our brother Francis. Your opening, sir.
Yeah, God, thanks for holding the ground, like Afra said, and it's good to be back. Thanks to my sis, Lavelle Bondo, and my brother Tommy Jr., and a few people who reached out to me, checking to see if I was good. I am good. I'm just handling some business, so that's why I've been away for some time. But however, I've been away, but I've still been religiously, following Spoon Talk and the news in the country, other network. I'm highly disappointed in this administration. Highly disappointed in the president. Because my disappointment, in no way my disappointment in this administration is an endorsement of clearing the name of CDC. The Liberian people did the right thing by voting out CDC. They did the right thing. But President Bouaka is showing us that they probably elected the wrong president. They should have voted for probably somebody else. That's what I believe at the rate he's going. Because as we all sat on the platform for months before election and also after election, talking about, I particularly said I want President Bouaka to behave like the late Nelson Mandela, who when he came out of prison, went to South Africa, became one-term president, and he did a good job. South Africa is not corruption-free, but he tore down the foundation and laid something better for people that follow after to work with. But I don't see anything President Bouaka said he was going to do during the campaign that he's doing now. We talk about investigating all of these people. We said during George Weah time, the people that America put on station, George Weah did not investigate it, he did not do anything. These are Liberian citizens. Whether you like them or not, they deserve to get their names clear. And he said he was going to come, he was going to investigate all these people. If these people are guilty of what the U.S. government sanctioned them for, let them be prosecuted. If they're not guilty, investigate and clear them, exonerate these people. He got thousands of people that are supposed to have declared an asset now under his administration that have not done it yet. And he's saying absolutely nothing about it. It is how corruption works. These people will now line their pockets, just like George Weah did when he did not declare his asset and made it public, declared his asset for almost 8 months because he was breaking down his house, building it, and also building his condominiums and other things. So when he declared asset, he put everything into it. And that's exactly what President Bouaka is allowing to happen right now. His criminals in his administration will line their pockets. Then when they finally declare the asset, everything else that is stole in the short period of time, they will put there. The president also, and the reason, one second, Nelson, the reason I also said the last government was removed for a good reason, because they didn't even know what they were doing. How you will let Grigsby, who was not a secretary of state at the time, a minister of state at the time, take $500,000 from Social Security. Our people in Lebanon are getting paid. But then we are government, gave Grigsby $500,000 to buy cars for inauguration. When there are companies in our country that could rent maybe $20,000 or $30,000 could rent luxury vehicles for the day for the inauguration. $500,000 just going to breathe, and those cars are not found. President Bouaka is doing absolutely nothing about it. So we're not going to sit there with the same voice we used to castigate the Weah administration. We should use the same voice on this administration because there's the last bus stop. If he doesn't do anything, Liberia is doomed. I see it right now. We are heading in that direction because he's doing absolutely nothing and he's just quiet with nothing to show. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francis, for your opening. Let's take Vasco to do his opening, and then we're going to the show tonight.
Thank you. Let me say hi to you guys, and let me say hi to our listeners and those of you that are watching us by the means of Facebook and YouTube. So Nelson, my concern is about the letter. I don't know whether it will be part of the topic.
Which letter?
The notice that came from the officer in charge of the DEA, the LDA. That notice clearly states that there was no warrant yesterday because he's telling his commander and everybody within the DEA that if the DEA will be going out to carry out any drugs raid, they should make sure and seek proper search and seizure warrant from a competent court. So based on their action yesterday, because this guy knows very well that they never obtained, or even if they obtained it, but they did it fraudulently. So in that case, they went there to kill innocent people yesterday for nothing. Because if you don't have those kind of a document with you, you don't just go to people's premises to carry on search and seizure. So that letter is clear. I sent it today. It's all over the place. That is just clear. The ORC officer in charge simply telling us, we the Liberian people, that my people never got any proper documentation yesterday to carry out any raid or search and seizure. So they did it in their own, among themselves, because there was a plan to go to search the CDC party for arm and ammunition. So when I see people sit here and look at where this whole thing started from, they don't even know where it started from. You want to blame sedition. You know what I mean? You just take gunmen and enter people's premises.
Thank you, Vasco. Thank you.
So that I want Nancy can put out that paper up so my brother can see it.
Vasco, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. We need to get into the show now because time is running so fast. But we have our two brothers in the background. We're gonna give them 1 minute each to do their opening, and then we can get the show started. Anthony Gay, welcome to the show. It's good to have you. You already know the policy here on the show, the rule. So we just hope you can adhere to that.
Yes.
Hey, what's the name? George, what day you bragging? You see that one yet? Not from the store.
Come on. I mean, please take out your face cap. I say you want for all to talk it that way. You know, we can wear face cap on the show.
Man, I cut my hair, my man.
Don't bow it's okay. It's okay. You have to have a low haircut. I mean,
all right, George, say goodbye to your
hair. Look at my hair. Look at my hair.
Hey, my man, hold on, man.
My man, you're running for senator. You want to start breaking laws, my man?
And Vasco, for the record, I'm allowed to wear this, bro.
Okay, thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
I want us
to have you guys to do your opening, and then
I want to begin by saying good evening to everyone, to our audience and listeners across the radio land in Liberia, to our followers on Facebook. I want to say good evening to you. Tonight, I come with a heavy heart because our nation is proceeding wrongly, and we hope that this government will have the courage to uphold the rule of law, calm down the tension, conduct herself in the orderly manner, so that when one fly jump, they don't jump. When another thing passes on the other side, they don't go down. You have to maintain yourself. When I saw the empty shells of the canisters, or we call tear gas, the amount of that, I think about 500 in a ton of that.
Wait, were you counting them? Did you take up time to count them in the photo?
I said about.
That's none of your business.
No. I want to know because this is information dissemination, Josh.
I'm not sure.
Anthony, more than 1,000.
How did you get to that number? Like estimating?
I just said about 500, right?
Okay.
That's what I said. That's not an exact number.
Okay.
But for one headquarters, yesterday when Diamond was presenting the unfolding circumstances, if you go through that live video, you'll see I asked a question. Does the LMP of Liberia has event negotiators, hostage negotiator, or crime scene negotiator, where people, investigators on the scene can come in and be on the loudspeaker and try to negotiate between the two parties? There's a reason why these things are placed within laws enforcement to reduce the situation. There was a stand down here in the Philadelphia area for almost 24 hours where a guy was shooting from his house, and the police surrounded the house, but they did not crack down on him, and they were able to talk him out of that, and finally got the guy to be arrested, and the situation comes that no casualty, nothing else, right? There is a reason why these things are. It does not show weakness of the government.
Which part of Philadelphia?
It only shows clever approach to circumstances, right? And what we saw yesterday remind us of 1990 circumstances. That image was bad. Seeing a guy lean over to the fence, where he gun to shoot the canister. We don't want to see that kind of picture in 2024. So
thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
When you are in office, you are given the responsibility to maintain law and order, and you got to do it responsibly.
Let's hold you there. And Mobile, please do your opening question just 1 minute.
Sometimes when we come on the show, I want to be deceptive. Why you were kind of a border shell or whatsoever, and then you count the amount of rocks CDC thrown on the street. Look,
I'm for the rock. I'm for the rock.
We all here. We discussing how much for the rock or
that's pure money they wasted. That's what we're talking about.
So the people businesses CDC destroy. The amount of people that are going to work, they stop the people from going to work. The amount of people that are going to hospital, they stop them. They are not paying taxes, right? Look, if you guys want to talk like bro, you talk like bro, you're more politics from everything. Because your feet are the only way you can come back 2029 if we have the spirit a lot of lies. That's it. That's it. You're all on Facebook, but you don't tell me like when people how many rocks CDC thrown and how many people got hurt. But we're not talking about CDC because it's important when a lot of people that got hurt. You know how many people got hurt? You know how many people now living in the hospital because of CDC? There are many. I put one picture I put one picture in the group chat. Everybody saw it. I want for nursing to put it up because it's too graphic, and more especially that same incident occurred. Another guy got the whole team messed up. All the men that CDC took, they were throwing rock. So we shouldn't come here and sugarcoat one side and because we feed her, because we want Anthony, George and Vasco, they won't come out in 2029. Y'all should be when y'all come on the show, y'all should speak truth to power. Y'all shouldn't come here and be spreading out of lies and other things. Like, they put the amount of they want to happen, but y'all forgetting to know CDC, the rock they throw, it affect a lot of people, it affect a lot of businesses. Opposite Lone Star were closed. A lot of things went on. We all not agree to what happened. We'll come here today, we condemn it. Yes, the police should have probably taking another approach, or maybe trying to look for the Anthony negotiator to negotiate peace and whatsoever will be going on. But what was the beginning of this identical incident? That's what I don't know. The beginning, people were chasing drugs dealer, and they went in there. The DA guy said it. They went in there, but they're saying that they're explaining that all they're saying. Police went there. You think police that go and start raining somewhere? You think police that go somewhere and they start raining? No. There was a action went on. Somebody was they were running behind a drugs dealer, a group of drugs. People who are selling drugs. Thank you, Mama. And they went there for them.
You know, this is very important. This is very important. Now, we had that conversation here yesterday. It was a lengthy discussion. Talking about the protest, everything that happened.
You should be
you're interrupting the show, and then we had this conversation yesterday. It was a criminals one. So, like, bring people yesterday, got the #1 noise maker guy on the show. You know, I want everybody to see the man that interrupting the show. You know, this is, but I mean. On a very serious note, this conversation went on yesterday, and we had a lengthy discussion around this, and stuff like that. Maybe will come back to end up with another angle of that conversation today. But I want us to start this conversation. I want us to start the show today with a reflection of everything we've seen, or that has transpired in the country over the past 7 months of this government. 7 months. Listen, We didn't get here easily. It was a tough one. It was a rocky road. It was very narrow. When the CDC and the Unity Party had to clash, when Liberians had to make enemies with their friends, and friends became enemies, and it was a tough one. When some people had to leave the diaspora, come to Liberia, spend some months here, convincing people, going in the trenches just to get people voting either for the CDC or the Unity Party. So Liberians walking poo water, and all of that, just to be here. Some Liberians got in trucks. They got in pickup, but they carried them to other places to vote. Finally, we got here. On the 22nd, this government was inaugurated. Officially took office. It's been 7 months, 2 days. Or maybe you want to say 7 months, 1 day, and some hours. I want us to evaluate everything we've seen over the time. You can talk about the arrest agenda. Well, the government came on the mantra of change, making sure that the arrest agenda is effectuated, that there will be the issue of rural agriculture, tourism, and everything will be the major concentration. What have we seen in the past 7 months? How has the government proceeded? Is there any hope, given what we've seen so far, that Liberia is going to see a better leadership, that the different sectors are going to be improved? And we're going to end this conversation tonight by every single person giving some rating to this government as per what you've seen so far over the past 7 months. Are the hopes, the aspirations of the Liberian people for this government becoming a reality? Or are we seeing something far from what the government preached? Respect for the rule of law, transparency, accountability, order the previous administration. Make sure that people will be made to account. Let's start the conversation from here. And I want us to start with our brother Toure, Mr. Vakabina Manju Toure, the Batala boy. Let's hear you. Your 2 minutes, sir. We're going to give 2 minutes across the table because we want to have a great conversation here tonight.
Yeah, Nelson, so
Toure,
yeah.
I know you're finding it difficult to start from somewhere, but you're one of those persons on the show who left Councillor Tiawon Gonglo in the middle of the water. When the old man needed you the most, you turned your back on him and said, I will go to Unity Party because you saw the light shining there. That's where everything was gravitating. And then you went to the Unity Party. You canvassed here. You encouraged the Liberian people. It's been 7 months down the road. Let's hear your honest evaluation of this government.
For the greater good of the country, I made my decision to support the rescue mission. But I still maintain my political loyalty to the Honorable Tiawon Gonglo. Make no mistake. That's why my broom never go far away from me, Nelson. You know what I'm saying? So look, we're gonna be fair, we're gonna be truthful. Because if we are not truthful with our conscience, then obviously we'll be lying to ourselves.
Toure, is this government standing on the right footing?
I think the government, they are becoming their own problem. The government is engaged with self-inflicted wounds. That's what they are doing. Look, Nelson, we talk about experience. This administration does not come short with experience. But you see, doing the right thing sometimes becomes very difficult. I think that's where we are right now. Not doing the right thing, not being intentional about doing the right thing. You know, bro, we know Liberia has a lot of complications. Nobody need to tell us that. We know we are behind every sector. We are behind everywhere. You don't have to be a seditious or partisan or non-partisan to understand that. We know very well we need help in every sector. Make no mistake about that. But there has to be some sort of intentional approach to solving these problems. And we're not seeing that with this administration, at least not right now. Can they actually, snap out of it and start doing the right thing? That's my hope. But do I still believe that they can do that? I really, really do. Right? But
Now,
if you can get the people
and I know you want to go to the asset declaration and all those other things that maybe you think the government is not doing, but given the kind of country the government inherited, you speak to folks in the hierarchy of the Unity Party, people who are up there making decisions, the insider, they'll tell you that the government inherited a country that was broke, like former President George Weah said, broken coffers, broken economy. The government had almost nothing to start with. And given what the government inherited, quote unquote, according to the people, the insiders, is it fair to say that this government has taken 7 months to at least be able to balance, and that there is hope that this government can maybe be able to crawl, stand up, gradually start to run, and then put the country on the right path?
I think the mistake, there is hope, Nelson. As long as there is life, there is hope. All right? But you have to create that hope. You have to create that opportunity. I think what this government is trying to do, they're trying to solve all of the problems at the same time. You can't do that. With a convoluted system like Liberia, you will have to engage certain sector, right? That will be my approach, all right? And I know a lot of people say, oh, you can do all of this thing at the same time. No, you cannot. Because Liberia does not have the luxury of having the abundance of resources to cater to all of these things, all right? That's why you have to find sectors that are life, sort of like, sector that really need you to engage with, like education, agriculture, security. These are necessity. These are life dependency. You have to look at these things, discover them, and work with them. You cannot in any way tackle everything in Liberia if you don't have the resources. We have an economy that depends on foreign direct engagement. We have to depend on foreign donors to give money. And you don't have the luxury to just call somebody for money and the person give it to you. So you have to build these things. You have to build that trust in the system, all right? And you can't do that when you have all of these, situations happening that are number one.
So what are some of the sectors that the government is picking up at this time that you think is unnecessary? You think they need to drop if they must get a very good rating in terms of performance?
Nelson, look, and I know very well, bro, it is hard, right? It is hard because everything is depleted, right? Electricity, we don't have abundance of that. We don't have, safe drinking water in the country. Education is bad. The hemoglobin index is does not exist.
And I get that to it. And I get that to it. Yeah, go ahead. And that's why. What is that?
Is this a dialogue?
No, George, you have to give our brother his time.
What's the problem, man? If you're talking to Mel, deal with you, my man.
What
don't disturb on that. The man told me.
No, George is impatient. George is
Nelson, I will have the government direct their focus on these 3 areas. Number 1, education, healthcare, right? And rule of law, right? Agriculture should actually come there because I know very well. So I'll actually go full. These areas, they are very, very essential, bro. We have a war right now. We have so many uncertainties. I'm going to talk about uncertainties in Liberia. I'll agree to that. But we have global uncertainties. With all of these wars that are happening around the world, this is a country that can't feed herself. Are we worrying about that? Liberia cannot feed herself in terms of whatever that's happening in the world right now. And we all know what is happening around the world. You talk about Ukraine, you talk about the tension that is happening in the Red Sea, Taiwan, and that stuff. These are things that are happening. A country that can't feed yourself should be worried. And I'm worried every day. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ture. And this is very important. Folks, kindly share the program as you come on tonight. And let's evaluate this government. 7 months in power. The rescue train has been moving for 7 months uninterrupted. Nobody putting anything on the train track to hinder the movement of the train. What's your evaluation? Let's hear from George, and then we're gonna move to Moba.
Nelson, we told the Liberian people that whoever United Party was, these are the people who were seeking jobs, opportunities. They missed their job so much that they wanted to come back and they would do anything. They had no idea, no clue whatsoever what they were about to do. These guys just wanted to get into those same SUVs and drive around Monrovia. That was the entire plan all this while. They cajoled the Liberian people, lied to them, made them to believe that they could perform miracles, and went ahead and fooled them. So yes, what happened, Nelson, in the past 7 months? We saw buses parading the street of Monrovia. And they said, oh, the transport issues are going to be relieved, the transport problem. Those buses found their way to Locatua border and went back to where they came from. Again, fast forward, we saw yellow machines. The yellow lady was on top of the machine with her handkerchief, waving it around. Yeah, 285 yellow machines. It went swear. Nelson, these are the people who are guessing. They don't know what they are doing, Nelson. They want to impress, but they don't even know how to impress. Guess what, Nelson? The people in Liberia are suffering. We see it every day. We
and of course, people have always been suffering in the country.
Nelson, but it has increased.
Yeah. But George, given the kind of country the government inherited, is it fair to say that 7 months down the line, 7 months in power, 7 months of this government, the rescue train moving, it's been a time for the government to at least be able to sit up, and that Liberians can still be sure that this government is going to deliver. Maybe in the first 1 year, the tangibles will start to be visible enough for every single Liberian to see. But that the 7 months have been a time to recover, a recovery period from the mess created by the previous administration.
Nelson, President Bouaka promised us in 2021. He said when voted president, he would hit the ground running. That was synonymous with experience. He quoted his experience. He was bringing experienced team. He was bringing everything that the Liberian people lacked in the weird government, right? That's what he was coming with. Nelson, can you now tell us that particular experience that have been taunted by the Liberian people, saying, oh, the man is the most experienced, get 42 years experience in governance, right? Can you even phantom, any courage to now even listen to those people again when they tell you that what guy has experience? No, you wouldn't. Nelson, 7 months, Nelson, you saw Elon Musk's picture on phone. Swear they went to America, they signed how many MOUs? They signed, I don't know, 11 or 10 MOUs, nothing. They went to Qatar. The simple president, we are talking.
No, Josh, I want to hold you there a bit. I want to hold you there a bit. Yes, you are right when you say Elon Musk, the communication went across on the social media. But again, if you go back to what the E-Mansion posted, they said there's a negotiation, there's a conversation going on between the president and Elon Musk, something that is going to benefit the country. The president emphasized the need for a country like Liberia to tap into what Elon Musk is doing to benefit the young people of the country. That Liberia is a virgin land when it comes to technology. No, I'm coming. Now, yeah. You mentioned the issue with the yellow machine. The folks said there was gentleman agreement, and that once it gets to that point, if the party that is bringing this machine doesn't agree with whatever the discussion is, they will carry that machine back. But there's a conversation going on. All right. So you can go on, Nimi. Several things have happened over the past 7 months. George, you want to talk about the digital program for the young people though there are issues, some of the young people are concerned now. They're not getting transportation and their data. They won't know what's in it for them. How do they sustain themselves? But these are programs that the government is initiating at the early start of the administration.
So Nelson, to your point, unlike you, I don't believe anything that comes from the executive mansion page or whatever it is. This is the same executive mansion page and that says Stanton was lying, that Mr. Massaquoi was not relieved of his position. And then after a few days, it came back and they refused to now correct themselves that the man was actually relieved of his position. So Nelson, these people lie all the time. These people don't know what they're doing, Nelson. It's like a guess, my friends here who were almost insulted of us when we're trying to tell them the truth of the matter. I'm ashamed for them. And I see Toure is trying to go that same direction, but now he get locked, but he can't make it because we're not allowing to come and join us or criticize. He should be that person because that's what he said. We told him the reality. We said these people don't have any solutions. They are clueless. They don't know what they are doing. These people will take this country backwards, and they all went against us. Now it's not time. Nelson, let me tell you what is happening in Liberia now is disgraceful. I think President Bouakai should resign. If I were him, I'll resign, or just leave the people place and just walk away because he has no idea what he's doing.
Thank you, Josh. Now let's move to Moba. Moba, 7 months down the line, you're one of these persons who was here canvassing for the Unity Party. I mean, let's have a reflection.
Nelson, look,
an honest evaluation of the 7 months.
Yeah, let me say this, right? There's no country in a war can just develop in 7 months. But what the country can do is to start laying primacy, is to start making negotiation like what they're doing now. 7 months? How are you taking 7 months to be? Like a year, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? Now we the last time the president signed some MOU with I think people from China or something.
The Korean.
The Korean. Now, you don't know what in our MOU. We don't know. Look, Nelson,
but before you go any further, it's just fair to say that there were some folks from Korea following some of the MOUs, the visit that came to the country, expressed interest to invest in Liberia, and they came to the country. They had an engagement with the president and his folks at the executive mansion. But go ahead.
Yes. And we're all on Facebook. So look, I'm just trying to tell you that nursing, 7 months is not a year. It's not 1 year, and not 2 years, and not 3 years, and not 4 years. But what the government is doing, look, nursing, there's only one thing I want for the government to do.
No, listen, Moba. If it says 7 years and not 4 years, 5 years, are you saying that 7 years is nothing that we should 7 months? No, sorry, 7 months is something that we should just waste. We should not.
But we're not wasting 7 months. The 7 months we're talking about.
In 7 months? No, in fact, Moba, your internet is not good. George just kicked you out of the show because he wants to co-moderate the show tonight, and I think.
Thank you, Nelson. Just move me closer. Thank you, Nelson. So let me just talk for him quickly. Let me just talk for him.
No, you're not talking for Moba tonight. Let's take Alfred. Alfred, go ahead. Let's hear your take on the issue tonight.
Nelson, thank you so much for having me on the show. I have 2 points to make tonight, and one has to do with the international affair. Where is our country now in terms of the respect that we were lacking in 6 years under George Weah? In the last 7 months, what the president has been able to do is to sit with Liberia, where we have regained our respect as a country. You saw the president coming to the United States and having conversation with investors. You also saw the president going down to South Korea, where he was able to negotiate in the areas of agriculture. We talk about the MOU, but I believe those were some of the discussion that was being proffered as it relates to feeding ourselves as a country. You also saw the quote unquote gentleman agreement that saw the moving to the country about 25 35 or 36 out of 285 yellow machine coming to the country. You also saw from NAFA, the MOU that was signed from NAFA with the Moroccan government, in the area of fishery. So internationally, our country is well respected now. We have a say in the different organizations. In fact, even in the sub-region right now as we speak, Liberia is well situated. It's well situated, it's well respected. We don't have a football president. We don't have a flamboyant president who want to put 200 people on a jet to go and be merrymaking. We have a serious president. So I can tell you for sure, in the last 7 months, the president and the government of Liberia has been able to talk about Liberia, and I can tell you for sure, Liberia is well respected now. Now, when we come back home, let's come back home.
Yeah. Okay. So you just start with the international front.
Yeah, on the international front.
Yeah, World Bank just freeze our assets.
Before the 7 months.
Our assets.
No, coming. Where Liberia was,
no money.
No, guys, please, let's.
Your government stole all the money. They leave nothing in cover.
Where Liberia, sometimes Mobile forgets that he's.
Am I protected now?
You are protected. So the international scene, where Liberia was before the 7 months, and where Liberia is right now. So let's come to the local aspect.
Domestically, I will tell you for sure. We'll be honest here. There were some missteps, but domestically too, the government has been able to do some things. That, for example, the establishment of the office of the ombudsman has been established. The president was able to sign into law the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court. I think that's something that we should talk about because it's very important. There were presidents after him that failed to do that. We should give the president the kudos for doing that. We also saw that the president was able to the first thing he did was to sign an executive order, which led to the establishment of all of that. We also saw the president leading by example to declare his asset and make it public. Which one of our Liberian presidents in the history of Liberia have ever done that? No one. This president was able to do that. Now, to be honest with the conversation, I would say there have been some mistakes. There have been some decisions that the president failed to take. For example, Grace Place should not be in government at this time. Grace Place should not be in government at this time. Grace Place has no right. You know how many people in Liberia that put their money in Social Security and they can't receive it? Then you give command to Social Security to give 500,000 or the people money to go back out.
They may have planned by the ANC to destroy the government.
So for me, I think at this time the president should not bring our government to friendship, because this is what we preach against George Weah for. Friendship will destroy the government. Let Grace Bay come by America and can't wait. And can't get in the how do you call it, 40, 30, 9 to 5 every day. He needs to come out of America and do that. He should not be in Liberia and give me our president by a basis. The president should take action on Grace Bay. They say, he who comes with equity must come with clean hands. So the president needs to get up. In as much as we are very hopeful that the president will do well, we also want to flag out some of the mistakes that he's making along the way, which will be very detrimental if he continues to sleep. We don't want our president to sleep on some of the decisive decisions that he needs to take to move our country forward. Finally, I will say this. To magnify this country, you need serious people. And the president needs to step up. No friendship should be in government. Look, Liberia does not lack. There's nowhere in Liberia that lacks competence. We have competent Liberians around the world that can do the very same work that people like Grace Bay occupying. Do not bring friendship in our government and at the detriment of the people. You should not do that. And I will end up to say this. If you were to ask me in terms of rating the government, I don't know whether we should come to that point.
You're not coming to rating yet. We'll do that on the next round. Now, thank you very much, Alfred. Let's take.
My statement.
Yeah, you were in. We'll come back. Yeah, you were in. We'll come back. Anthony, let's hear you. Let's hear your take on this issue.
Nazim, I wanted to thank you for the opportunity tonight. Let me begin by saying 7 months, gone past half a year, an administration that campaigned on a mantra of change, on a mantra of no business as usual, on a mantra of rule of law, on a mantra of moral integrity, on a mantra of job creation. Look, Nelson, President Joseph Numa Boaga, His Excellency, looked in the camera and told voters that there was nobody capable enough to tackle the issues of Liberia better than him. He was well prepared, well qualified, and well determined to move our country to the next level. The voter bought into this. They stood in dirty waters. They did everything they could to bring him to office. On day one, we almost lost our president. Blunder number one. Immediately, a committee was set up. The conclusion of that committee today, many people can tell you. Nobody was held accountable. Investigation 1 in the trash. Investigation 2, we found out that individuals were caught in the process of doing business that they're not supposed to do. Investigations were held. Nobody held accountable. Then we found out the national budget was sent to the House, voted upon, sent back to the president, passed in the House and the Senate, brought to the president's desk, president signs it, it goes back to the legislature, and it got fingered. The budget changed. Another investigation. All of these investigations have not used any accountability. Mind you, every time there is an investigation, there is government spending. Government money is spent. Taxpayer dollar is spent. And guess what? No results. We saw this president taking a drug test. Today, how many of our brothers and sisters consider, disadvantaged youth have been taking off drugs, detox, in rehab under the leadership of this president? We saw yellow machines brought to the country, bypassing the PPCC protocol, set in place how government can acquire any equipment. We don't know the whereabouts. We heard gentleman agreement, and up to this date, we got 40 machines in the country. We saw the folks from the government parading the streets, celebrating for something that we don't own yet, with the president's name engraved on those machines, but we don't own anything. We were told that $0 taxpayer dollar were paid towards that. But guess what? Our military now cannot sleep. They have to wash over those machines. Then we saw this administration took individuals to South Korea, signed 23 MOUs. 23 MOUs. Took along with him Senator Darius DeLong had no business negotiation skills.
No, but again, Anthony, Senator DeLong is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs. No, Senator DeLong is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs.
Now, because he's the chairman, what experience Does Senator
No,
Dillon
but
have any
Anthony,
foreign
perhaps
affairs?
you've not gone through the CV of
We have
Senator
not
Dillon.
seen
So
any CV
how
of
do you
Senator Dillon in any foreign
arrive?
affair matter before. Not because they put him there to mean he qualified. We have seen a lot of people a square hole in a square peg in a round hole. We have seen it before. So Senator Dillon is no exception. He has no expertise in foreign affairs. Yes, the chief of staff. His chief of staff has a master's degree in international relations. His chief of staff, not Senator Dillon. So again, we gotta start joking with the Liberian people. A Senator Dillon is placed before any business tycoon.
Anthony, to be quite honest, you are deviating from the conversation.
All right, let me take Senator Dillon out of the picture. Let me take Senator Dillon out of the picture.
Evaluation of the 7 months of this administration, a reflection. After which we'll come back to our rating of the administration.
So yes,
no. You want to discuss when that time comes for us to talk about Senator Dillon's his CV, his expertise, his experience.
No problem. I take Senator Dillon out of it. Let me hold this administration accountable. This administration deployed our national army at the airport because Seditian went to the airport and said they will welcome George Weah. Deployed in full bow arms, like we said, they were going to war. We saw this administration again yesterday with the police. When Damo was giving his exclusive description of the events, I asked one question. Does LNP have expertise who understand crime scenes negotiation processes? Because this particular incident,
you have 30 seconds.
Avoided yesterday. Complete blunder by our national police, and they created a scene that could have been avoided. Nothing. There is a reason why there is something called rule of engagement in the military.
Thank you, Anthony. Anthony, you've exhausted your 3 minutes down, and of course, we're gonna come back to you, Anthony.
Thank you. I'll mute myself.
We're gonna come back to you. Let's take our brother Francis. Francis, go ahead. You've been quietly seated. Francis came back with a whole different approach, to the show. He listened to George speak. He didn't talk about Saki as usual.
But we start talking.
Let's hear your take, Francis. Your evaluation.
The first thing I want to clear out is Anthony, stop talking about does the LNP have negotiators and stuff. That was not a hostage situation. That was a riot. Who are you going to negotiate with when rocks are being thrown back and forth? So stop making this. Is not a movie, okay? There's real life. I don't care what started it, but yesterday, the negotiation will happen behind the scene with the people over the CDC or whatever the case may be. But who will negotiate over there when rocks are being thrown and tear gas fired? So let's stop that thing. But let's get to the point about this administration in 7 months. My question is, the Liberians, kudos to you. CDC, you kick them out, 100% correct. But they will elect President Barker a few years too late. Is he up to the task? Because my dear brother Anthony also that I just corrected a little bit, pointed out to me about the negotiator thing. He made a point. President Barker is like he's sitting there, but is he paying attention? That bill that he signed didn't go back, no more change. Are these people just running circles around the president? Because how dare anybody change figure after the president has signed? Because when the president signed it, that's law right there. Then you go behind here and change the bill. I go back to Grace B again. The incompetent CDC government that was in power on January 23rd up until 12 noon, or 22nd, had no business approving $500,000 for Grace B to buy 5 luxury cars. When they could use it for $20,000, went somewhere in Liberia, rented luxury vehicle for the day, but took people seriously. Some of our people today, they are dying, but they have not even collected anything for sitting home. but you allow the incompetent CDC government, allow Grace B, that was not even in office yet, to take 500,000 from Social Security. That was the problem. And President Barker has said nothing about it. He calls people from the Liberian people about that investigation. The Army wives strategic protests that locked down the country. President Barker said they were going to investigate. We have not heard anything about that investigation. Every single time there's an investigation, it gets swept under the rug. What do you expect people to insinuate? So you give more room for the incompetent CDC to act like they are speaking on behalf of the people. But I will tell Liberian people, I don't care how much they holler, they should have did that during 6 years. They didn't do nothing.
But let's go back. Let's go back a bit, Francis. 7 months down the line. I mean, this is what the Liberian people in the majority wanted. Giving the numbers that came from the ballot box.
No,
some Liberians walk in the dirty water. Some Liberians abandon a whole lot just to see this government in power. 7 months.
But
are we living the reality? Are we living the reality of that expectation that Liberians had when they voted this government? Is this government living up to the promises? I want to say
the answer is no. Anyway, you spin that question, the answer is no. You can try, you're trying, but it's not going to help. Anyway, spin that question, the answer is no. Because we go back to the president said corruption-free government. And that starts with the asset declaration, telling the people, all my people are bringing in, they come in, they may come in with $2, they will come in with $20, the other person come in with $10 million, 15 mansions, and 23 Range Rovers. All this stuff are equivalent to 500 billion. Let a year before the government go far. Everybody see it, right? Then, when I may leave office or every 3 years, when they audit these people, yes, you expect it to grow a little bit. But most of the hungry people that came to government, or some of them that have projects that they couldn't complete, now they are completing these projects, right? They have not even declared an asset yet. After they declare an asset, maybe at the end of the 6 years, when he decides to put a foot down, everything that they have stolen will be added onto it. So they can legally say they own that, and that's why on the asset declaration. That's why I said the 3 branches of government, they are legal criminals. They are legal criminals. All of them, they tap out, they can steal. So President Barker is not living up to what we said he was going to do. I still stick to my guns that yes, the Liberian people made the best decision by voting out the CDC government. So I don't care what anybody say about how horrible this administration is going right now. Still, they did not deserve 6 more years. I think with President Barker, probably people look at his past record for all those years and probably elected him. Maybe he
okay. No, I get where you're coming from, Francis. But is there any hope? Is there any hope?
There is always hope. There is always hope.
Given what you've seen, has the foundation been laid out in such a way that maybe moving forward, maybe once we start to talk about the 8th month, the 9th month, the 10th month, or maybe 1 year, we'll start to see a whole different picture of what
I expected President Barker to come into the office like a grumpy old man that just ready to tear down the fabric of all the corrupt institutions. That's why I expected him to come there. I don't care. The Liberian people deserve this. I will not run for 2nd term, so I'm going to destroy this radical foundation and lay a solid foundation.
But again, where is the problem coming from, Francis? Where exactly is the problem coming from? Is it with the president or the people within his cycle? Now, a lot of people said this about former President George Weah, that the people who were in his cycle, the lieutenants, the people he appointed to represent him as his eyes or his ears in the different ministries and agencies, some of them did not do well. And so that had a reflection on the Weah administration. Now let's come to the party.
If you are coaching a team, and you got a 15 number 5, and you keep it on the feet, they keep running your defense and scoring.
My man, leave football business. You say you don't want footballing president. Leave football business. Talk about the team.
The fault is yours. So President Barker is the coach. Just how anytime we criticize former president, do we ever mention Joel Howard Taylor's name? Do we mention her name? No, because he was the president. So the buck starts with him. So President Barker is the president. He appoints these people. He should be able to correct them. But that's what I'm asking. They will elect President Barker a few years too late.
Thank you.
That's the question.
Thank you. Now we're going to come back to do the rating, to do an honest rating of this government. But let's take our brother Vasco. Vasco, let's hear your take.
Thank you, Nelson.
7 months in power. What's the evaluation of the government?
I mean, 7 months is a disaster, Nelson. And I hear you try to make it fine. You keep saying where the Unity Party people met this country, where they took the country from. Nelson, I want you to know today, the Unity Party government of Manasali and Joseph Boakai, they served our country for 12 good years. You know how much they left in our country reserve? 150,000. 150,000. Joe, we are set for 6 years. Do you know how much Joe we are left? Joe, we are left 40 million. No, I want that in a simple English. I want us to understand it. Joe, we are left 40 million for the Unity Party government. Joe, we are make education simple. And George, we are government was not a government of getting a lot of aid from all over the place like the past 12 years of Joseph Boakai and government. George, we are strengthening a revenue generation power. Under George, the revenue was generating enough. So, George, we are able to focus on every aspect of the country. Health. George, we are 6 years, you pay more hospital than any other government.
Vasco, you want to talk about what previous administration left in power, what they said. You know, the 40 million has been disputed. There has been dispute around the 40 million. Aloysius Talu
had about the central bank governor. The central bank governor came and said the president was making the right giving the right information.
But this is where
the former president was clear. No, I'm coming to your point. I just want to lay some premise, you know. I'm coming there.
Okay, lay a premise.
I lay the premise because people always saying that, oh, when the CDC government left this country, it was so terrible. And I want to say that's lie. Nancy, CDC left the rest price at $17. Where is the rest price today? These are the fundamental problems you be asking yourself. CDC left the gas price. What is the gas price today?
Okay, then where did the CDC meet the gas price? Maybe that's a question we need to be asking as well if we want to do justice to the conversation tonight. Because Vasco, someone may just argue that the prices of basic commodities across the world has never reduced. It will always go up. These prices will always increase.
Okay. And that is the place leadership comes from. Now see, when we came to power, we met Ellie left the rice price to $15.
$15? No, that was not $15.
No, listen.
You know,
don't bet me. Don't argue with me.
I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying, I'm in Liberia.
$14. It was not $15.
Call anybody and left. Call anybody and ask them, well, how much was rice price? Next, it was even the United Party government that took away our 50 kg. You don't know that? It was early that introduced 25 kg. Tell us that you should see that in the 25 kg.
Then what? You will bring 50 kg.
Tell us that when you go buy rice, you won't have better. Cut the rice into two. You bring your own empty bag. When
that's true.
Introduced 25 kg, and they sold 25 kg for $15. When we came to power with leadership skill He said, no, man. $50 is too much. That's what our leader do.
You know, we're not going to take forever to lay the premise. No, please don't interrupt Vasco. We're not going to take forever to have no. Basically, we want to evaluate. We want to evaluate the 7 months of this administration. The government are empowered and spent 7 months. How has the 7 months been? Have we made progress? Health-wise, the economy, governance, respect for the rule of law, and on all those different fronts. Is there any hope that it's going to get better for Liberians as we move forward? We want to look at
listen. If you know a government will be serious or want to be serious, you can tell from what? Their budget, right? And the government just presented presented the budget for them to do the recasting of the budget. Listen, and these are some of the things we should be discussing here. Listen, every government, education, health, agriculture. Let me tell you what the government did. When you got in that budget, education, right?
Where are you reading from? That information you come and get.
Let me write the budget.
You coming read from the budget? Okay, go ahead. Let me hear
the budget. I'm telling you, but you know, you're checking 100 years. You see, this government reduced the amount they had in the budget, and I'll give you the figure. They have 111.3 million. Previously. Now they brought it back now. They got 108.3 million. That reduction right there. Then I go to health. Health, they had 80.1 million. They brought it back to the senator and they said, no, they money too plenty. You reduce it. Now they have reduced it to what? 78.97 million. Right? Then we go to agriculture. Agriculture was 8.8 million. They reduced agriculture to 6.7 million. There's no way to argue now. Is this a serious government? Is this a serious government? These are the things that government campaign about. But let me tell you what they did to domestic debt. Domestic debt, they just have it in bulk figure. And today, when you're not yesterday, they don't talk about these things. He used to say, citizens can bring bulk figure. You don't know where they're going to pay. Which one of the debt they're going to pay? Let me tell you what they did in domestic debt.
Thank you, Vasco. Thank you.
One second.
Your time is up.
Let me
Vasco,
end. Please.
You know, Papa, this is very
domestic debt.
I'm coming. The thing here is, you are saying.
You see what you're doing?
No, Vasco. Okay, honestly, I'm going.
Let me do the you cut me off. Just the domestic debt to pay people debt.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the domestic debt previously.
I think you are very unfair.
It was 26.4 million domestic debt. Bagana said, no, you take plenty of money, you put it to that debt. After they carry it back to the people, the domestic debt now is 45 million. Nobody knows which debt they're going to pay. Today we're hearing that what?
Thank you.
World Bank, what?
Thank you. You know, and that's the other side of it. So I want us to come back to do
a serious government.
I want us to do a fair rating of this administration, this government. 7 months. Let's come up with a scorecard. All said here. I'm coming to you. Let's come up with a scorecard. 7 months. It's like you go to school for the entire semester. At the end of the semester or the end of the year, they bring a report card. On the late night show, the late night panelists, I want us to evaluate. I want us to come up with a rating. 7 months rating of the government. Right after this, listen, not much to talk about. We will open the lines for our people to talk. The people who follow the late night show, They will agree or disagree with some of you here tonight. They will critique some of your ratings, and that's why it's very important for you to come up with an honest rating. Guys, can we mute? Can we mute? Can we mute? Someone is not muted. Vasco is watching. Someone is not muted. Okay, please, guys, just try to mute. Just try to mute. So, yes. So let's come back. Let's start with you, Moba. We're gonna give you 1 minute.
Which one are talking the old
To
topic?
lend your thoughts. To lend your thoughts. To lend your thoughts, and to carry on a fair rating of the government. And you tell us why you're giving the government such a score.
Listen, first of all, 7 months is not 7 years. Let me put out. So it's not 6 years. It's not 5 years. 7 months are 7 months. And the government,
7 months is
the government making significant progress. The government making significant progress by going outside trying to bring investors in the country. The government not sitting. The president is not sitting down and that full in hand. And my brother talked about doing Georgia regions to buy gas, $800 to $1,000 to $900 1 gallon. Now gas dropped to $750. So don't go there. I used to go Labrador all the time. I told you. So you used to go there. And let me go to the rest press, Nelson. Before I come to George, let me go to the rest press. Doing anytime we're buying rest, $13, $14 one. George can carry all to 17, 18. So every president that come, you don't know that Nelson said. We don't know like all around the world now, the global market. You don't know. Now we're not also producing rice. People exporting right in the country. So end of the day, you don't know the taxes and other things they go through. So there's no argument on that. But I will discuss the president's achievement, what he have done and what he keep doing for the Liberian people. The next thing will come here every day, we say what we want to say. Me, the only thing I can hold the president for, before I go to that, the only thing I can hold the president for the whole audit thing. If the president was really working on audit, bringing people to books, 10 times the Vasco, they're not talking. The only thing they can talk when they mentor about audit, they say that which one? Well, the people bring too much audit, they will get on the street, they agree to the audit. That all. And I made it went, they don't want divert the whole topic. That's why they went into the headquarters to go bring another chaos. Then our brother say, oh, the police people go there to go for it. The police people pass around to go for people? No. This government, this president doing well. He out of the country, making negotiation for the country. We all seeing it. And pretty soon, we'll see what the government will do. The investor will come, businesses will come. But sedition now, they're praying to God. They on their knee, fasting 24 hours, so the government can succeed. Because I listened to one seditions. He said they will elite what they want, they will protect every day because they want investors to come in the country. Because they want for Georgia to win 2029. The reason is simple. That the reason they're doing all the things, that the reason they will keep putting people together. When you ask them, what the reason you're protesting for 7 days? They will not, for 7 months, they will not tell you. 7 months, tell them, say, what are you protesting for? They will not tell you.
Thank you, Moba. So let's go to your rating now. Let's go to your rating now because everyone across the table is
because you don't know what you're talking about. Why are you angry for?
So there are several areas, but we're gonna do a general rating on the overall, holistically, on a scale of 0 to 100. Given what you've seen this government do over the past 7 months, if you were the professor, the teacher, Professor Moba Zoka, you got your scorecard right before you. You're about to rate this government based on her performance. What is that honest rating you think this government deserves, and why?
Nelson, if that's set up, you want me to do all of that?
No, let's do an overall because the sector is bulky and we may not have.
I'll get a government 8-0. The reason I'm getting 80 is that the president, right? Nelson, the president now making a lot of significant impact by going out of the country, right? Making negotiation for the country, number one. Number two, the government trying to lay a primacy fighting corruption, although we ain't there yet. But our identical auditing team and tell that the government son, war and economic crime code. Anybody who will steal from the country, you're facing the law. So there's a lot of things we can name. So
Okay.
I'll get a
So
government.
you get the government 80%.
Yes, I get the government 80%.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Josh, let's hear from you. Your fair rating of the government. It's been 7 months since the Unity Party was inaugurated. 7
Thank you,
months.
Nelson. Thank you, Nelson. Before I go to my rating, I just want to say something here explicitly. I listened to Mobile yesterday and make some derogatory statements here on this platform, which is really
my man, we're not discussing about tomorrow. I mean, yesterday, Sunday, what I meant to
he
talk.
said,
Then we'll go back.
he said the CDC is selling drugs in the party headquarters. I did not see you tackle him like you tackle us here when we say some statements.
You know,
Morba made that statement, and my blood was boiling me, and I did not hear anything from you.
Checkpoints and made the corrections yesterday. It wasn't Morba alone who said that, but we brought people to check yesterday on that. So,
my man, I know LGA people.
Guys, let's focus on now because we have to. Yeah, someone is not muted. It's just we're hearing something else in the background. But George, go ahead.
Look, Nelson, I'll grade it over 5% for trying.
Your camera is up, but it's not muted.
Okay, we appreciate if you were to just mute Toure.
Okay, look, I'll give the government 5% for trying and trying only because look, I know.
Josh, I hope you know you are rating the government on a scale of 0 to 100.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I know. I get him 5 out of 100, and that is just for trying. Now, okay, yeah, the reasons why. You know, this government started on really bad footing. In the first month of the presidency, police went to Kinjor and killed people, rioting, and we all know during the CDC regime or other regimes, we saw that Ellen and Bwaka regime, we saw that people being killed by police who were protesting. During George Weah time, we saw police feeding a protester with food and water, which of course we saw it was a new day in our dispensation, that people were now free to express themselves any way they wish to, because President Weah saw it fit that he said the KAK
decriminalized.
KAK, sorry, he decriminalized free speech, and that was a great thing because we just realized that President Weah was a peaceful guy and he wanted to make sure that people were free to express themselves. But when we came back to Bwaka said, no, people are not free to express themselves. I will kill them when they do that. So he went ahead and killed people in Kinjor. And so many people have been beaten by police. And that was like taking us back to many years ago.
5%.
Nelson,
5%. But you've already told us why you're giving the government 5%, Josh.
Okay. All right.
Alfred, please go ahead. Your rating of this government.
Well, I would say tonight that I'm very optimistic. But there are 4 key areas I thought that the government will do good. Up to 9 in the last 7 months. In the area of education, that's why we say we who support the government will not come here and just be sycophantic. We'll discuss the issue as it is so that the government will be able to take the necessary action that will improve our country. All right. So in the area of education, I'm yet to hear about any strategic national plan to improve education in Liberia. So in our area, the government is 0. I give them 0. In the area of security, I think the government is trying in the area of security.
You're about to go sector by sector, overall. Just hit it overall.
Maybe you touch on that. That explains is why he can go ahead and do just a few of that, not the entire.
Liberia, I don't want to say we just come from, because we have lived 20 years of peace. We have seen 20 years of peace. And Nelson, I'll be honest to tell you that on the overall, Honestly, if we are looking at it sector by sector, I would say the government will have 60%.
60%.
The government will have 60%. The reason why I'm saying that is that the government is still putting things in place. We have seen the government sign in the World Economic Crime Code. We are also seeing the government establishing the office of the ombudsman to ensure that government officials are living within the ambience of the code of conduct. We are also seeing that the government is taking drastic steps to deal with the issue of corruption. But I will also say that there has been some mistakes, and we expect the president to move faster than we expected.
Thank you, Alfred. Anthony, let's hear you. Your rating of the government 7 months down the line.
After 7 months, the president cut his salary by 40%, and his commerce minister also followed suit. But the same president rewarded our lawmaker with $100,000 each for every representative and $150,000 each for each senator. So I don't know, how does cutting your salary and rewarding lawmaker balance it out? I leave that there. This president has a mantra called arrest. Arrest has zero policy. The arrest was campaign. That was the acronym. Governance needs policy. 7 months, zero policy rating from arrest. Any initiative in this 21st century, Nelson, the backbone to the success of an initiative, your developmental initiative, needs electricity. And we all know where we stand when it comes to electricity in Liberia. Zero policy. So how are you going to run your government when you have zero policy? Granted, arrest some fun during campaign time. Granted, you have won the election. Campaign finished. Propaganda finished. Where is the policy that is driving your agenda?
Your rating.
We got zero. So because of that, Nelson, even though you have a arrest agenda that you sold to the Liberian people, but you have zero policy, how are you going to run it? We don't know. How is it going to be paid for? We don't know. Because the government...
So your rating, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm going to my rating now. The government spoke against harmonization. They said when they come into office, they will cancel harmonization. They got zero policy to replace harmonization, so we still have harmonization in our throat. They say the free education was a foolish thing. They got zero plan for free education, so we still have job plan. The Liberian people does not need UP nor CDC. These two political parties are bad for Liberia. So for this reason, I give the government an F.
I mean, F as in what? See, let's be on a scale of 0 to 100. Or
0 to 100, I get them 40.
40%, yeah.
40%.
Now you're talking. You know, but that aspect where you spoke of CDC and Unity Party not being the right choice for the Liberian people, you came across as someone who's trying to project Mr. Cummings for 2029. You know, especially that you come from the Alternative National Congress background. The very first day you came on the show,
you were a member of the ANC.
By extension, CDC.
Oh no, I'm not a sedition. I'm glad that the Liberian people did not put George Weah into office.
Let's hear our brother.
I'm glad that the Liberian people did not put George Weah into office. I'm happy.
Anthony, thank you.
And I can tell you for a fact, the Liberian people will not vote CDC nor Unity Party 2029.
Anthony, thank you, sir.
We do not have a binary church in Liberia. There are so many choices.
Thank you. Francis, please.
Before I even go far, just to correct my brother Josh, who said George Weah promoted free speech, this, that, and the other. He's on tip saying anybody that calls the president will not walk the street of Liberia free day.
You mean President Weah?
Former President Weah.
Are you sure of what you're saying, Francis?
Y'all got an audio minute too.
Constantly threatening the states constantly inciting people, I want to be clear. We will not tolerate those kind of citizens. Those that constantly insulting the president. I want to be clear that after this, there will be no citizen in this country, and I can defy you that will ever insult the president and think you will walk in the street prison.
I don't know, but
so I mean, I didn't have nothing. I gave nothing. That video said to even hold on to it. So when I want to talk in it, you stop speaking from two inside your mouth. That may not promote freedom of speech. You're trying to harm people if they call the president.
I don't think you are speaking in context. But anyway, do your.
Anyway, so I don't want to throw it out there. So there are a lot of people that are listening or watching us. Yeah, freedom of speech, my phone. But anyway, for me, I will follow suit. This my honest reading I had before even Anthony mentioned it, 40%. Why should he's done brought about the War Economic Crime Code, which is great. But I'm looking at things that will immediately impact the lives of everyday citizens. Our people have suffered for way too long. And every time you even hear from the Georgia town or from the any town, when they talk about any kind of developmental project or anything, in Montserrat County. That's why the country has 5.6 million people, almost 2 million people living in Montserrat County. And that county is done right now. So nothing they have done nationwide, I'm talking about from Montserrat down to Maryland County, has touched the Liberian people directly. So for that, it's a failure in my book, and I give them 40%. I don't even have much to talk about this stuff. Yeah, 40%. Nothing affecting the Liberian people like positively.
No, Fraser, 7 months and you're giving the government 40%?
Nothing. Yes, because look at what's happening. Our brother talk about fighting corruption. How can you fight corruption when you claim that you'll come and make sure that everybody in your government will be held accountable, but people they're not declaring the asset? People may think that's a trivial thing. Why he already behind the asset declaration thing? Because they had criminal, they had drug weapon in store, and that's the same thing happening now. If you don't show what you got before coming in, I can't go hungry. That means bro, they make a marry in Paris now. All they put in, hungry people there.
Thank you.
That could afford. Somewhere will call it. They put got plenty mansion or apartment building there.
Thank you.
That won't happen on President Parker administration. Because put on declaring the asset, and he not saying nothing about it. But he running it right. Now I said we elected the president maybe a few years too late. He would have been sharper and better in 2017, but they missed the mark.
Thank you. Vasco, you want to rate this government?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I mean, before I read the government too, let me sharpen the contradiction here. I saw Nelson play a video because my brother Francis said, George, we are what George said, it wasn't true. And you see, this is a big platform. Georgia made a statement at the time. He now passed the Adura K. Kamara Act. He didn't pass it at the time when he made that statement.
No, Vasco, let me help you. The only maybe
that is not true, Vasco. Come on,
the only justification.
You don't need no truth. You don't need no help. You don't need no help from you.
I'm coming, guys. Yeah, I know, Josh. You want to help. Maybe the only justification here would be that he said it.
Go ahead.
Maybe you want to say he spoke in context based on the event, and I tell you, this was when the former president, went to dedicate the Tupper Road Market. All right, the KAK was passed in. Let me go back to it in 2021 or 2022, one of the two. All right, let me go back to it. But go ahead, just make your point. I will come with the information.
You see, I'll always provide factual information, and when you go back to check, you will come back here again and say, Vasco, you are right. that identical statement we are made at the time they have. You talking about 2020 or 2021? That statement was before then. That statement was, you can say we are, you know, that it was just 2018, 2019 statement over there. Nelson, y'all go check it. When we are past the Abdullah Camara Act, not a day we battle anybody on free speech. When we are past, we are said that it was the beginning of his administration. So let me correct that. And I bet anybody on the show, I will not come here for.
Okay, so you are saying that President Weah passed the act at the beginning of his administration. Is that what you're saying?
No, President Weah made that statement at the beginning of the administration before passing the act. But the man is the only president that will know that decriminalize free speech. So what do you always say?
Vasco, Nelson, I heard Vasco challenging the platform for this reason. I want to respectfully disagree with you, Vasco. When President Weah signed that bill into office, it was exactly 2 weeks.
Nelson, why you allowing people to respond to this man? Why you allowing everybody to respond to the man?
Because the man lying. I don't want to lie.
You can lie. Who can respond to you?
I am going to mute
It's all the way, Anthony. It's all the way what the man opinion. We waiting what the man opinion. Those who don't get respond.
Let's not do this. Let's give Vasco his time to learn. Vasco,
let me agree. I finish saying my own. I dare you. Y'all go look for it. But next thing I will agree, George, you help them. Okay, I will give this government 3%. And the 3% is because of the only project that the government achieved. They boot on their own. They boot.
Okay, so you give the government
3%
on the
so
boot.
I won't take a 3% back for this.
Okay, 3%.
That's it. When you grade people, you grade people on achievement.
For the sake of the clarity, let me bring the information relative to that KAK ad you spoke of.
Bring a KAK ad.
Right? So the market was dedicated in June of 2019. That was on the 6th of June.
Yeah.
The act was passed in February of 2019. So you're right. The both incidents occurred, or the occurrences took place at the early stage of the administration, but one happened before the other. The market was in February, March, April, May, and then June. The market was dedicated, just a few months away. So thank you. 3%. Let's move to Toure. Toure, go ahead.
Let me do my own research. I think what you're doing.
Yeah, you know.
I thought you had Toure. That message doing research. Go ahead, Toure.
You know, Nelson, that
Nelson, okay, go ahead, my brother. I want to say anything. Go ahead.
They Vasco guy, you know.
Nelson, that tip is so relevant to what is happening right now. Right? Look, the president talked about incitement. Right? And there are a lot of that happening right now.
Maybe you just join it also to me. At this stage now,
I know it's a percentage you're talking about, but I'm just trying to throw that there before they make it way
clear, Nelson. That made it way clear.
At the end of the day, President George Manuel was absolutely right. Nobody will insult the president walk freely, and nobody will incite people to get in the street to disrupt, government. But look, Nelson, let me say this. I'll grade this government 66%. This government right now.
It's still pretty great.
And look, and the reason for that is the thing. I'll definitely, no, hold on, wait.
Is that 67%?
But mildly fair grade. Look, the role connection in the Southeast, 66%.
Did you see the road recently?
The road connectivity in the southeast, you definitely cannot in any way not give credit to this government for that. I mean, you have, right? You have to. And also let's give Gregory Coleman some credit. I think Coleman is doing a great job, right? Let's give Mo Ali some credit under a very stringent operation, but he's still doing all of the necessary things that he needs to do with a very limited resources. All right? And Eugene Fagon, right? That gave Eugene Fagon a huge credit too, for doing what he's doing. But look, at the end of the day, all of what I'm talking about right now can all get better if the president just be intentional and just do what he needs to do and stop total walking the process. If President Boakai can just say, you know what, cut off all of this slow walking processes and attack these things head on, this government and the narrative will change rapidly, right? When you delay the investigation in the LDA kind of stuff, that's putting a lot of pressure on government. When you also total work the process of people declaring their assets, that also brings a lot of situation. So cut all of these things out. When you put in any implementation processes you put in, make sure people are hired to your command and your demand. And let me close on this. Anthony, come on, man. We are not idiots on the platform that are going to come out that the president rewarded the legislature $100,000. Come on, man. The government does not work that way.
Who signed the law?
You said that. You said that, Anthony. Oh, we should rewind the tip.
He signs it in the law. He doesn't have to sign it.
Bro, it's a give and take. You know how that country works.
Give and take like
you know how that country works, bro. Look, at the end of the day, it's a give and take kind of situation going on in that country, and that's been going on since Charlie King time. So nobody's gonna come and say, oh, the president rewarded the legislature $100,000 each. That is not true, Anthony. Come on, bro.
Thanks a lot. Guys, we want to go to the phone lines. We want to go to the phone lines. Anthony, you've had sufficient.
Please, 20 seconds.
We want to go to the phone lines. Once I give you 20 seconds, I have to work first. Yeah. So we have 20 minutes to be on here. We're going to give 10 minutes to the callers to participate and 10 minutes for our closing. So let's go ahead and take some calls. 0555-101075 is the number to call, and I'll put the WhatsApp up. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you're calling from. Caller number 1.
Good morning, Ezzy.
Yes, sir. You have 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good. Okay.
And
they're congratulations, but I just wanted to advise it to my trusty brother George. And we want to say, 5%. Our money will be bank if NSA let you try to bring it back when they keep the flag, you keep it off. Thank you.
Come. Wait. Hello, caller. The caller go.
My man, let me finish with Umba.
No, but hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Good morning, Nelson. This is S. Alfonso Boli, and I do join the late night politics from Catholic community residents.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I think with the exception of the brother who created the government 3%, I think the rest of the government God will tell you and tell everyone that this government is on the right trajectory. Giving the government 40%, 7 months out of 6 years. I know by the time we enter the 3rd year, this government will be in 75 to 80%. So that is saying nothing. It's very good.
So what's your own rating of the government 7 months in power?
My own rating will be around 45%.
45. Thank you. Thank you 45%. Very much. Thanks a lot, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person. 0555-101075. We have the WhatsApp up. Let's take this person from here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you're calling from. Hello. Oh, sorry. Hello.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, you're live now. Go ahead.
My name is Emmanuel Mark, and I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Let's hear you quickly, sir.
Yeah, Nursing, can you just give me 2 minutes? I beg you, please.
Please take
I
1
would
minute,
grade
sir.
it first. Okay, I would grade this government 75. We all helped to bring the government into power. And the only reason I'm grading this government 75 is because of what I saw the past 1 month that I stay in Liberia. If anyone is employed, that person is employed to get paid, and services should be delivered. I believe President Bouaka is trying his best, but those people that have been employed, services are not being provided. I will give you just 3 examples of them. Look at the trash in the streets. Everywhere that I pass with my family, it was trash. What happened to the city middle? So that means people have been paid and services have not been provided. Look at the how they call the things there. Look at the road, bad holes. Just for me to drive from Gabriel Tucker Bridge to Douala took me over an hour. What happened to public ministry? That means they have been employed, they are being taken pay. There is no job being done. Let me tell you, our government or President Bouaka is doing his best, but those people who are in power, if they are not providing the services, they should be fired from that job because that's what I'm there for. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So okay, so you say your rating is 75. Thank you. Let's hold you there and take this person. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm James William from Brooklyn.
Okay, James, let's hear you quickly.
All right. I should all know that from 1847 to now, our government, the first year is the most enjoyable year. And looking at Joseph Bouaka first year, there is no hope for the future. So I'll grade the government 30.
30%. 7 months, 30%. 05551010075. 05551010075. And the WhatsApp number is up. Let's take this person. Hello.
How are you?
Yes, sir. You're live. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Daniel Isa. I'm you from Kiwi County.
Yeah, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah. Let me first say thank you for the show. Let me just agree with that Vasco man who is not arguing on a point of argument.
Vasco rated the government 3%.
Vasco is not sincere to the Liberian people. I think Vasco is one of those that has been used by his own decision, who's not looking in the preview of the Liberian people. And let me also say thank you for this government. I'm a big shame. But to be honest, this government is doing extremely well because where we fail during our term, this government is taking off on that thing.
So what's your rating of the government?
My rating for the government 7 months would be 45%.
45%. Okay. Vasco says he doubts your sedition, but thank you. Thank you very much for your input.
Seriously, your sisters on their feet to Bagnet.
You know, so yes, this is where we are. 05551010075. So we'll take 4 more calls and then we wrap up. Please walk away from your radio. Please do this. Anthony will hit on the show. You know that. Hello. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Chema, calling from Cowell.
Yeah, from Cowell.
Yeah, let me make the first corrections on my brothers there. Bouaka and Eden government left 150 million. It was not 150,000. That's the first correction. And secondly, you know, the government is doing well on the line of agriculture, you know, electricity. Because the government make progress, sign agreement, you know, to do a power plant, you know, current distribution. Okay, and the project will soon start. So we didn't want to pay this government. You give the government about 80 to 85%.
So what's your rating of the government? You as an individual.
I mean, I'll give a government 80%.
80.
Because of the step that they have taken to improve the sector, because the sector has been broken down on a 6-year administration.
Thank you.
Give the government 8%.
Thank you. We'll take the second to the last caller. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah.
And this is Prince Quest, and our party phone from District 5 respectively.
Let's hear you.
So you asked a set of questions. When it comes to grading this government, for me, I'm not a seditious, neither am I a youthist. I'm a realist. So we discussed the issue. I discussed the issue as a whole. The government has started on the path and looking at what they're doing in their immense effort when it comes to the clampdown on corruption, wherein they are holding some past government responsible when it comes to restitution and how they have misled and stifled our economy. It is good. So for me, fairly, I will grade this government on 60. I will give the government 65% because of their immense effort. The past regime, since 7 months into it, we saw them building luxurious houses. We saw them gallivanting here in the national cover, and we saw people that barely couldn't feed themselves doing a story building. So the government is doing well, and I think it's on their front to grade them 3%.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to take the final call from the WhatsApp line. But let me put the number down because we've concluded with the calls. Okay, so I think we'll come back to do our closing, but it's very important to state here tonight that everyone across the panel did their own rating of the government. Our brother Mobile rated the government at 80%. Our brother George said the government deserves 5%. Konowa says 60% for the government. Anthony says 40% for the government. Francis said 40% as well. Vasco said 3%, the man with the lowest rating on the show tonight for the UP government. And then Ture says 66%. Well, the callers across the country listening to us tonight have been able to call in and carry on their own rating as well. But let's do our closing. And I want us to start with Ture, Vasco, Francis, and then just follow the order.
Can we get a total score tonight? Both the panelists and the caller?
1 minute.
No, I didn't capture all of the readings from the callers, so it's kind of difficult to do. But I want us to do our closing now. I don't know how Ture left, but Francis, okay, Vasco, you go, then Francis, then Anthony.
That 1 minute of Vasco, no more than 1 minute.
1 minute exact. So let me set the timer because we have exact 10 minutes to be out. So go ahead.
All right, thank you. It was a great show. But I still stand by my statement, and I still making my research. And I know my research don't lie to me. But Nelson, look, like I said the last time, there are so many things that are affecting our people. And I can remember during the CDC administration, most of the discussion was centered around the bread and butter of the people, the ills in society. But I noticed we leaving most of these things. Sometimes we just come and discuss things that will not, have really impact on the people. Because I think the people want to hear us talking something. And I want us to change our course of action. Let's discuss what affecting the people. Nancy, you in the country, the whole country is so dead. First of its kind to see Liberian to go on the dumper to go look for rest. They waste the rest, the ratty rest on the dumper. The people went on the dumper. They grab taking the rest from the dumper.
Where those are going on at the
you see that thing on DM.
I hope you looking at it 1 minute. I hope you looking at 1 minute.
The main minute going so and the main.
Hey, you're not joining my 1 minute. These are the things, Nancy. Liberia is going backward. Where we left Liberia, I will always say this. Where we left Liberia going beyond. Nobody can argue that.
Thank you.
Then we will sit there and say, oh, you know, the global this, the global that.
1 minute
But you
exhausted.
people never knew that they have
Thank
global
you.
something.
Thank you
was
very
in
much.
power.
Francis, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, our brother said they talk during that time they talk about the brand butter issue, but I think they left the butter out of the brand, like giving people dry bread during that time. But also too, the administration too doesn't seem to be putting the butter on the bread either. But one thing I want to address, I did not talk about it, but I watched the video. I beg our brothers and sisters, I never saw war. Because most of the people in our institution compound, more than half of them did not see experience a civil war. These are young men and women that were born after the war and being used by the seditions to do these things. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, putting on beret or blue or green shirt for Unity Party or blue beret for CDC doesn't help you guys' cases. You see the people that are enjoying. You guys will continue to be on the front line, getting killed or injured, while all those guys, children, are learning in Europe to come back and rule your children. Those guys were broke before they got into government.
10
Some of the
seconds.
money they have earned, your family, their grandparents did not see it. Your parents have not seen it. You have not seen it and may not see it, and your children may not see it. But their children are already set for life, and they will rule Liberia. So you stop putting the people there on your head. Look at them. If their life change and yours don't support them because they're not good for you. You're in the Party CDC, the same thing. Please don't let it.
Thank you very much. Let's take our brother Anthony. Anthony, the man who sits between the ANC and the CDC, but wants Mr. Cummings to be president come 2029. Go ahead, Anthony.
Look, Nelson, in my Liberian passport, nationality, Liberian. I have a nationalistic approach to the circumstances of Liberia. If Liberia have reliable electricity, it will not be sedition, nor Unity Party, nor ANC member will benefit. All Liberians will benefit from reliable electricity. Look, let me say this to you. If you have a asset recovery team that really didn't put themselves together and get jumping in the street, they're collecting people's stuff, and later on they scatter them, then you're not ready. If you have one fire hydrant that people celebrate from Mo Ali, one fire hydrant, then you're not ready yet. You understand? Only one fire hydrant was celebrated by Unity Party folks. You're not ready. If you come into office and have zero policy for 7 months, all these guys in government, every month they get paid. They are not doing us a favor. They are doing a piece of job and they get salary for it. The national budget comes from the executive, folks. It goes to the legislature. They do appropriation. They vote on it. Then they send it back to the president. Once the president puts his signature on it, it becomes a law. That national budget, the president has everything to do with it. So whatever is in there when he signs it, he is responsible for every penny that is
10
in
seconds,
there.
Anthony. 10 seconds.
So Liberia, you don't need CDC. You don't need Unity Party. You need a Liberian who will put our country first. Country first over political party, over an individual.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Put the rocks down and protest peacefully. Put
Thank you.
The
Thank you,
rocks
Anthony.
down.
Toure, please go ahead. Your time is rolling. 1 minute.
Anthony is just one of those guys. When he finished saying all of those outlandish stuff, then he ended with something positive. Then he just put you in a situation where you get larger. But you know what? Now we have another conversation for another day. But look, Nelson, great show as always. But look, man, look, we are all brothers and sisters, and we are all brothers and sisters here, man. Even though we don't have our sisters on tonight. But look, the end of the day, we all come here to discuss bro, positively. And we all know, bro, we all have family and relatives that we love and cherish so much in that country. So there is no harm in our heart for that country, right? That's the passion that we bring to the table. But it's just like everybody have their way, or everybody feel like their way is the best way. But we need to find that equilibrium right? Where we all can really come together, bring our ideas, and try to foster a movement that will take us from the carnage. All right. Look, I look, George, you know I love you, bro. No homo. Vasco, I do. All right. At the end of the day, Liberia is what we have, and we'll have to do our best to discuss Liberia. 2029 will come through. We'll go back again and start campaigning for the candidate. Anthony will go back campaigning for Mr. Cummings, and Mr. Cummings will actually come with 1%. But you see, at the end of the day, we love Liberia and the passion will bring, man. Great show, Nelson. Thank you, man. Thank you so very much. And to all of you, always great sharing platform with y'all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. It's been a great show, and this is how we like to end up.
What does it do? We not close. Wait.
Look at George.
Yeah, I can see all the people up there, man. Go ahead, Alfred. Let's hear you. You're close.
You know, when I was listening to my brother Francis, there's one thing that he said. You know, we who experienced the war in Liberia as kids growing up, we know the impact of war. We know what it means to go hungry 2-3 days and you find one cassava to eat. I can remember 2003 when the war finally started. People got drying the river just because they want to cross that river to get into Claratown to find food to eat. So when we come here to talk about the impact of war, we want to caution our young brothers, our young folks who were born before the war, to understand that violence is not the answer. Violence is not the answer. If people try to incite you to get in the street to do something, you look in the crowd and see whether their children are there. I can't agree who are standing over there talking nonsense. His daughter is here in the United States going to school. She's living better life. Okay?
Yeah, you know.
So you gotta be very careful.
Thank
you. Be very careful. You shouldn't follow people that are training.
Why you carry your police to the public for?
My man, starting to
You were talking your own, I'm not talking. Why you giving me out for?
You have 10 seconds, Alfred. Please land because we have.
So, with regards to the government, I am very optimistic. I am hopeful that we have seen some mistake, and Mr. Bwaka is a very straightforward man. He listens, and I know he listens to us every night, and I hope that he will begin to get up and try to put some things in place if you want the country to be successful. Thank you so much.
Josh, please go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute, and then Moba will take us finally.
Thank you, Nelson. Look, like I said from the beginning, I'm not disappointed because I knew exactly this is what's going to happen to our country, our dear country. I knew President Bwaka had no idea what he was doing. People push him to do what he's doing. Push him to become president, because I'm sure President Bwaka knew that he wouldn't be a good president. So he was not pushing, but people pushed him because they wanted jobs. So the boys were behind him. Be there, go there, because they wanted something for themselves. And that's exactly what is happening. These guys are now riding big cars in town. Like, look, when I was in Liberia for the elections, I had a lot of pimping boys who, just because I wanted to talk to people, I decided I'll be riding keke, I'll be riding taxi, and every taxi that I got in, I would start a conversation, and people would say, Joe, we are stealing our money. So I just want to ask them, President Bwaka is not stealing your money now. He giving it to y'all? You guys are getting money from Bwaka? You are not, because Bwaka knows nothing about governance. He has always been in someone's shadow. He's not associated with anything successful. So the whole matter is that Liberia will continue to reach regress. Nothing is going to happen in that country because the people who are leading the country don't know what they're doing. It's ridiculous. And I think President Bwaka should either resign and leave our country alone with somebody who can come and do something better.
Thank you very much, Josh. I want to
thank
you for your closing. More about
you always don't want to hear me. I know my voice.
Amen.
Josh spoke for 1.5 minutes, just so you know.
That's not true, Nelson. That's not true. I started, you started saying, okay.
More about finally take us home.
Yeah, it was a great show. Thank you to the audience. Again, we will always tell people to be, to be careful. The government not stopping nobody from protesting. You can protest, that's your right. But do not throw stone. Do not go on the street and invade other people's private property and other stuff. Because end of the day, where your red start, that way another. I mean, where your own stop, that way another man red begin. You can't go on the street trunking rocks because you feel you disenchanted. And the question the general asked, I can remember yesterday, was what wrong the government did or doing before you guys on the street today. You're trying to enforce or something. They didn't even know what to say. They didn't even answer that question. Someone say nothing, but because they were lead by a lot of people, former angry loser like Jefferson Koji, Ascara Gray, what a former assistant for logistics, I don't know, Alvin Wheater, they all were on the street trying to buy a sentiment. But end of the day, we all understand that Liberia remain Liberia. We respect the rule, that people respect the rule of law. It can be, I know with him himself, he will deliver for the Liberian people. No matter what Hitler will say, he's on the right path. There is nothing can easily. The past government, they looted our country. We know a lot of people who for Kobo money, but today they get condominium, they get houses.
Thank you.
But you see in the government. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mobile, we appreciate you. Thanks to Josh for being here tonight. Thanks to you, Anthony. Thanks to your brother Francis. It's been a while since we last saw you. Thank you, Vasco, as well. It's been a great show. Thanks to Ray. Ray is off and on. I think it's due to his internet. And thanks to Alfred Konowa as well, who's trying to be on. We'll be here tomorrow with another great show. Today is holiday in Liberia already.
Mobile, you scared of me? You won't play?
Morning hours in Liberia. Today is holiday. Happy Flag Day to Liberians.
Nelson, let me say this, right?
Sorry.
Hold on.
And I want to say thanks to everyone. Happy Flag Day. August 24th is today. Celebrate well. I know a lot of people will be going to beaches and recreational.
Nelson, let me say something. A lot of people don't know, but some people who know me will know this day. Nelson, let me say something before we go.
Yeah.
A lot of people who know me will know this day. 1988, I set a record in Liberia that I led my school on August 24th, 1988 as a young kid, very short. The major
we can see it. No, we can see it. We can see it.
And I shook the entire country, not just the city where I was. And I was being talked about. Many people today know me by the name of my school, and they call me Jesse Body Baby.
Jesse Body Baby. What was the name of the school? What's the name of the school?
Jesse Body.
Okay, Jesse Body. But listen, when Anthony tells you he was shot in 1988,
I set a record in like
which in Maserado.
Let me tell you guys, just before we go. When Anthony tells you he was shot, when Anthony tells you he was shot in 1988, you gotta believe it. I haven't seen Anthony before.
What kind of record is that? What kind of record are you talking about?
Anthony is 4 feet. They said Anthony is 4 feet.
I'm not 4 feet.
So if Anthony says
4.5.
Anthony, serious question. What kind of record are you talking about? For marching there?
So I was to perform before President Doe birthday night and stuff because my school.
Before you're dancing or what?
That balancing down and that balancing there because the men are coming.
No. You know how every school have a major star? I led the major star.
President, you
so folks want to say thanks to everyone, man. It's been a great show.
No, I'm not 4 feet.
Why you have
tell President the moon on fire for something for all your name.
The milk keep it there.
No, listen.
Listen.
Firework, you lost that.
Does that bugger?
So we
Who the
want
fuck
to
is talking
say thanks. We want to say thanks to everyone. It's been a
On
great
taking
show.
records.
Let's hope we can be here tomorrow for
So
another.
it's so disappointing. Even Fire said Baka
Have
can
a
put it
good
on.
night and bye bye for now. Thanks to everyone.
But
for
I go in the back. I go in the back. Not go in the back. Go have the conversation.
all day.